Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Vincent. I'm a first year pharmacy student living in Nigeria and studying at the University of Ibadan. I make videos about education, lifestyle and finance. So if you're new to my channel, kindly subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to be posting a lot of educational videos, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. So let's get straight to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to score even as high as 8C in University of Postutme. As you all know, the Postutme examination is an examination that is necessary to write after your JAMB in order to gain admission into the University of Ibadan. So what are the things we need to take note of concerning UI Postutme? The first thing to know is that the Postutme consists of 100 questions. So aside from each of the first subjects you wrote in your JAMB examination, let's say you wrote physics, chemistry, biology and English in your JAMB. So in your Postutme also you are going to be writing physics, chemistry, biology and English. But this time around you are going to be answering 25 questions for each of those 4 subjects. Okay, the second thing to know is that the Postutme examination consists of 100 questions, right? But you are going to be given 90 minutes to solve the questions, which is the same as 1 hour 30 minutes. So that's very fast when you answer the question. Then the third thing to know is that the Postutme examination is a paper-based test. That means you are going to be only using pencil and paper to solve the questions. You are not going to be using a computer. Although last year we used a computer because of the COVID-19 disease, but this year I'm not sure it might be paper-based or CBT, but usually it is paper-based. Then the last thing to know is that for you to get admission into the University of Ibadan, you have to score a minimum of 50% in the Postutme. This does not mean that once you score 50% you are guaranteed to get admission, no, but the minimum score in Postutme is 50%. That means if you have a score less than 50%, you will not be considered for admission at all. So now let's talk about how to score up to 80 in University of Ibadan Postutme. As we all know, a lot of aspirants with 300, 320, 330, even 340, they write to a Postutme and yet they still fail it. So what exactly happens? Is it that they are not smart enough, or is it that they did not read the writing? So why do a lot of people fail a Postutme despite having a high score in JAMB? So we are going to talk about this now. So the first thing is a lot of people study a lot of O-level questions without actually studying the O-level. So yes, this is what happened. So after writing JAMB, you must have studied your O-level textbook, and when you are writing Postutme, you feel like you are more advanced and you want to read more advanced textbooks. You want to start reading Necking and Packer, but this is not actually the right thing to do. Concerning the UI Postutme, it is 97% O-level questions. So you are going to still be getting a lot of O-level questions, just that in this examination, the form of the exam may be different. It may not be exactly the way JAMB sets a question, but still UI Postutme is completely O level, or let me say almost completely O level. So it's going to be very needless for you to go and start reading A level textbook. So I will just advise you to concentrate on your O level textbook. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is study a lot of JAMB past question. Yes, study a lot of JAMB past question. And this seems somehow insignificant. You feel like JAMB past question, I'm not more doing JAMB again, so why should I study JAMB past question? But it is going to be very important for you to study your JAMB past questions. They are very helpful. They were helpful to me when I studied for my UI Postutme examination. So yes, UI repeats a lot of questions from JAMB past question, and I've seen a lot of this in my exam. When I wrote my exam, I saw a lot of questions that were repeated from JAMB past question. Yes, although UI will not repeat the past question word for word, they may change the word, they may change the options, but still when you look at the question closely, you observe that these questions, they look somehow similar to some questions I've seen in your JAMB series. So I advise you to solve your JAMB past questions again, even though you might have solved it during your JAMB, but still when you're writing your Postutme, I would advise you to solve your JAMB past questions again. Okay, number 3 now. So another thing is you have to be very serious with your practice question. Yes, UI does not have past question, UI does not release a past question. So UI only release practice question. So what you can do is to solve the practice question diligently. The practice question is a question that is released by University of Ibadan before the Postutme examination. It consists of 100 questions for each of the subjects you are going to be writing. So you are going to get practice questions for your subjects in maths, physics, chemistry, biology and English. You are going to be getting 100 questions for each of those subjects for free. And sometimes you guys also repeat some of these questions. Like they can repeat like 2 or 3 questions from each of these practice questions. So it should be a bonus mark to you. So another thing is solve your practice question diligently. And make sure you don't memorize them, solve them and understand them, because sometimes if you're going to memorize, you may change the way they say the question, or they may bring another question related to the question, the practice question. So you don't have to memorize the practice question, you read and understand and solve it. So the fourth thing is when you are solving your Postutme questions, you must not use calculator if you're a science student. Yes, you should be used to solving questions without using calculator, because you know how to use calculator. So what you need to do is solve questions without using calculator. You must be very fast and make sure anytime you are solving questions you don't use calculator, especially if you are writing math, physics and maybe economics in your postutme. So if you are still using calculators to solve questions, I will advise you to stop using calculators. And lastly, another thing is, when you are solving your postutme questions or when you are writing the exam, you have to be very fast. And there's a saying that UI postutme is not about how brilliant you are but how smart you are. And this is because UI does not set questions that test how brilliant or hardworking you are, but what UI wants to know is how smart you are. For example, UI can set simple questions, but the question is going to be very tactical, so you must be able to think very deep when you are solving the questions. And lastly, when you are preparing for UI postutme, pray to God and rest well. So I think doing all these things, you should be guaranteed or have a nice chance of scoring up to 80 plus in UI postutme. Yes, another thing that helped me last year was because I was able to get access to the original UI past questions. You know, I said earlier that UI does not release their postutme past question, so they only release practice question, which consists of 100 questions from each of those subjects are going to be writing in JAMB. But last year I was able to get the compiled list of past questions. Although this was compiled by a student that have written the exam before, it was not officially released by the school, but some students that have written the exam before compiled it. So if you can get it also, it's very helpful, but it's not very common. It's very scarce to see it, but if you can get it, it's also very helpful, as you also repeat question from it. So I wish you good luck and all the best in your post-term examination. So my name is Vincent. Subscribe and like this video. I'm going to be releasing a lot of videos. See you next time.